Hello, welcome to Power Trade International. Tonight we're going to be talking about putting automated trading systems as a part of your portfolio and why they're a necessity and not just a luxury. Tonight we're going to cover a few things, really who we are, more so should we work together, how really systems have been developed and who uses them, how you can benefit and how they can benefit you as a small investor, and why we believe most investors should actually have capital in these types of investments. We're also going to do a website demonstration and also a question and answer with my good friend and trading instructor John Seguin, developer of the Macrograph charts. He's going to do a little bit of market commentary and a little live chart analysis on a couple different charts that we chose. Of course, there is risks. Any of the investment advice that we're going to be giving you here comes with disclaimers, of course. This is a webinar disclaimer. Take a chance to look at this. When we get to send you guys a copy, you guys are going to be able to review all this and look over everything that we've done. Also, here's a trading disclaimer. Hypothetical performance results do have limitations. Past performance is not necessarily an indicator of future results. So you must know that in advance. This is me speaking. If you need to contact me directly, you can call me at that number shown there or call our toll-free number. Also, you can email us. There's going to be a question box in the webinar. If you have questions, you can just type them, but generally email them so there's a documented track record that we can go back to. A lot of customers have a lot of questions, so we'll generally just respond with the same answers that we answered other people. More so who we are. Power Trade International is a boutique commodity trading advisory firm, and we specialize in really developing and leasing automated trading systems to both institutions and qualified investors. We're generally going to trade spreads, and we like to essentially get you into programs that really can do well whether the market moves up or down. It's pretty important nowadays. You don't want to be in an investment vehicle primarily that can only do well in one market direction. I mean, a lot of the people that I speak to and a lot of the people that invest with us, they have other portfolios. They have stocks, they have bonds and things like that. What we're trying to do is be that niche investment opportunity in your portfolio that actually can do well when the markets go down. And that's obviously what we're seeing. I mean, it says right here, this is new to me. I'm more of a stocks and bonds guy. We say, should we work together? Futures trading has become very popular over the last couple of years. You don't need to be an expert. We're doing the work for you. The reason you all are here tonight is that you're searching for help in the portfolio. You're not learning how to trade like a pro or beat pros or anything like that. It's essentially the average guy, your golf buddy, guys at the bar that you meet. Those are the guys that we're taking money from and our systems are attempting to take advantage of. We're not beating the Goldman Sachs of the world. Whether you lack the tools, time, passion, or edge to beat the market consistently, trading systems are designed for professionals to make their lives easier. You're not getting into a trading system because you have all day to sit there and trade and you're doing great and you're making 30-40% a month. You're getting into a trading system because you don't have much time to trade, you don't have an advantage, you don't have an edge, or maybe you just want to free up time to do other things. And you're trying to make some money, with having a program do the work for you, putting your money to work. Of course, you need risk capital. So you've got to have risk capital into these types of investments. IRAs can be used, but they must meet certain qualifications. You're going to look over your own portfolio and essentially look at your last 12 months, 5 years, and 10 years. I always say, this business is more of a what have you done for me lately. Just because someone did well 6-7 years ago doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to continue to do well. And the same thing with our systems. I tell people all the time, just because one system did well the last year doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best performer next year. That's why we want to diversify across a couple different types of systems. You want to build a portfolio with low correlated programs that also have a low correlation to your stock and investment portfolio that you currently have. We always say this, what have you done differently since 2008 to hedge yourself? If you're not happy with the number you're seeing, it may be time to get creative and search outside the box of traditional investments and into something different. So many people that we talk to, one of the main reasons they come on board is because of the fact that they look at, realistically what these programs can do in times of turmoil. They say, you know what, I've got nothing that can do well on the way down. Here we have charts. Basically, this is an S&P chart, one of the macro graphs. We'll get into this in a little bit later, but this is essentially a chart showing what the S&P, the mini S&P, has done since 2005. Each color represents a different month, and John will be able to talk to you a little bit more about that. But as I was telling you before, look at what your portfolio's done, not only the last 12 months, but the last 5 years or so. Analyze where you've been. If you can see here, the markets have pretty much been exactly where they were in 2005 as where they are now in 2011. So you've got to understand that most of these, stocks and mutual funds and things like that, they generally focus on this market. They generally only going to go up when this market goes up. They're going to go down when this market goes down. So we want to be able to really illustrate to you that you got to find ways to be creative and find ways intra-year to be able to make money. And I'm going to introduce John now to kind of talk to you a little bit about these charts, what you're looking at right now, and the colors and how the colors differentiate and how these different spikes differentiate. So John, go ahead and take it.
Okay. What we have here is a charting program I call Macrograph, and it's designed to show me what fair value is. And fair value is, if you notice in each one of these separate profiles, let's take a look at 2005. You notice where the market sort of cones out to the right there. The furthest point there tells me where buyers and sellers have come together most often. In other words, we're talking about the high volume price. What does the market perceive as fair? And if you want to know how to read momentum, all you simply need to do is know what fair is. The movement away from a fair price defines momentum. These are two vital elements in developing systems. And the patterns that you look at, that you're looking at, also repeat in all markets and in all time frames. I use color here. If you notice, each color during each one of these yearly profiles represents the color. For instance, in January, it's always purple. February is orange. So these things help me read momentum. I can see how the market moved over the year simply by the colors. And again, some other things that I use this for: high volume prices tend to be good support or resistance levels when you revisit them. Notice that the low in 06 was the high volume price in 05, and that the low in 07 was the high volume price in 06, and look where the high was in 08, right off the very high volume price. So these little patterns that you're seeing here by years actually work by day, week, month, quarter. So when we're developing systems, we use this type of analysis to come up with patterns and strategies with well-defined risk.
And just to add on to that as well, as you'll notice, we'll go into detail. This can be applied to any stock, any treasury, anything that you choose that you want to actually see your own profile. John can customize those. So if you have any questions, make sure you call us or email us, and I'll get you in touch and put you in touch with John. He can give you kind of a presentation on what we do. But I think we'll find it very interesting. Why use systems? There's actually a couple reasons why. I'm going to start with time, really because it takes none of your own. A lot of people think this is complicated and you have to sit there and try and figure out what to do and how to use it. It's actually just as simple as plugging and playing. You essentially open up your own account, 100% automated. You don't need a fancy computer, and this does all the work for you from the very get-go. Also, emotions. I don't know how many times I've been in a trade where the markets do pretty well, and then all of a sudden, you're making a decent profit on a trade, maybe on an intraday level, and then you don't get out. And what happens? By the end of the day, trade's gone. You lost your profit on there. So emotions really do play a big factor in people either making or losing money in the markets. And if you're seeing this happen to yourself more often than you'd like, maybe it is time for a system. Opportunities to profit in up, down, and coiling markets. That says it for itself. You've got to be able to be nimble. You've got to be able to make money in different types of directions. And with the system, you at least have that opportunity. Whereas mutual funds and a lot of these blue chip stocks, you obviously can do okay if the market doesn't go up that much with some high dividend stocks and things like that. But you're going to be kind of a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, as I like to say. You're not going to be able to make much money if there's a lot of wind blowing at your face and the market's going down. Another thing, this is not for you to essentially go cold turkey and stop doing your traditional investing. You still have to have those in your portfolio, okay? As much as you may not be satisfied with your broker or your advisor, whoever's managing your money, or maybe your own self-managing your money, you may not be happy with your returns. Doesn't mean you quit stopping everything that you're doing. However,
it does mean that you got to take a look at what you have because these things have low correlations to those types of investments. So you should at the very minimum have between 5 and 10% at a minimum level of your entire portfolio in some kind of managed futures asset class. It tends to outperform in futures. Let's look at the facts. Managed futures has been one of the top performing asset classes, if not the top, in the last 10 years. So you want to have it in your portfolio to kind of create that little balance, and then that balance will be pretty much how much risk to reward you want to take. A multi-strategy approach to the market. See, a lot of people think there's one holy grail system, and that system's going to work all the time. That's not the case. What happens here is that people get involved with systems that have different strategies with different time frames. You don't want to be in a situation where you're all or nothing in one type of program. Sure, maybe you start off with one program just to get your feet wet and see how it works. But the fact is what your goal should be is to diversify amongst a number of different strategies. And that's really where PowerTrade sets itself up apart from everybody else. Is a lot of the things we bring to the table, we bring a plethora of managers and professional traders that you can actually use their technology and plug them directly in your portfolio. So that's always very nice. You see what's going on around the world. There's a lot of stuff going on in Europe right now. We've got our own domestic issues here. People are not really sure about what's going on in the equity markets. People are not sure and don't have the confidence like they used to in our economic system. So what does that mean? That means we could see the market be exactly where it was 5, maybe even 10 years from now. That's exactly what happened now. So you've got to be in a situation where you can actually be in a position that you can make money if the markets were to go sideways and not to make much money on the, upside, and we will see the market only up 5% in the next 10 years. Look at what happened the last 10 years. So that's really what this is all about, is really trying to diversify you and not have you all in one different type of asset class and freeing up more of your time. I can't tell you how good it is where I have these programs. I try and trade a little bit on my own as well. Doesn't generally always work out in my favor when I do because I'm focused on so many other things. But I do get out there and at least attempt to try and play golf sometimes and relax and not have to worry so much about what's going on in the market right now, whether it be traveling or spending more time with your family. If trading's eating up all that precious time and you're not even good at it, you shouldn't be doing it. You really shouldn't. And that's one thing we really want to talk to people about. There's professionals out there that can help you, whether it's us or money managers, CTAs, hedge funds. There's some really good companies out there that do some good work. So make sure you look at that. And again, that's really kind of what I want to talk to you about tonight regarding these types of programs and why people do use systems. Thank you. Questions, you can email us, invest@powertradeinternational.com, or if you have a certain rep that you work with, email them any questions you may have on this video. You can also reach us at 866-531-4259. The number's right there. And we have this guy going towards the light at the end of the tunnel. We kind of find that, a lot of you are probably in the same situation. A lot of you are just, looking at your portfolio and just saying, where do I go from here? What can I do? There's a number of things. We can put you in touch with traders that are really, really good at what they do, and they found a unique edge. I also know people that teach people how to trade. So if you really have a passion for it and you refuse to give it up, contact us. We can help you out. We can put you in touch with the right people that can teach you. But again, it is a challenge, and if you are willing to accept that challenge, then all the more power to you. But I like systems. I'm a big systems guy. That's how I built this business, and that's what I do, and I work with professional traders. I let the pros do the work, and I focus at what I'm good at. So if any of you have any questions, again, our contact information is there, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.